All right, everyone, let's figure out how to set up a remote in CaveWhere so syncing works and so you can share data between multiple people and they can edit the cave at the same time. So in the upper right-hand corner, there's this little button and you can see that our remote's not configured. So if we click on this, it'll ask us if we want to connect to GitHub. GitHub is the only integration we have currently in CaveWhere. You can, if you're more advanced, you can use a custom Git URL and set up your own remote. But for GitHub, the easiest option is to use GitHub. And the way to do that is to go into your browser and make a new GitHub account. I've made a new GitHub account here called CaveWhere Test. It has no repositories in it. So essentially when we add a remote, it'll add our cave file basically as a new repository on here. So we'll go ahead and click sync and we'll connect to GitHub. Oops. And then here it's going to give you a code and you want to copy and open this into GitHub. So if we copy and open GitHub, it'll go through this device activation page. We'll say continue, and then we'll want to paste that code into this web page, and then you want to authorize. So once it says it's all set, it'll log in, and then we can click on this button again, and now you can see that we can actually create a remote. The visibility by default will be private. This will basically make it so only you can see the files. If you click public, pretty much anyone on the internet can see this data. So usually cave data, I like to make it private. Let's name this my best cave. And then when we say create repository, it'll sit there and create a repository and it'll ask, hey, do you want to push this to the GitHub server right now? And we'll say sync. And now you can see that we are synchronizing our project. And once it's synced, we can actually go back to GitHub and look at our repositories. And we should now have my best cave in here. It's private. And this has all the cave data that we just pushed up. So you can go and kind of like check out what those are. Like look at this JPEG. You can see all the cave data in there. So now, say if we want to share this cave file with someone else, we can just go up to File and say Share, and then we just click this copy link. That'll allow us to send this file to someone else, and they can download it off Git. Now, the thing is if you have it as a private repository, you need to invite the collaborators on GitHub. So for example, here since it's a private repository, I'll go ahead and add myself. And I will say add. And then it'll say pending invite. So I will go ahead and accept that invite. So I've gotten this message. This is on my other GitHub account that I'm invited to join. So the other person that you've shared the link with needs to accept the invite. So I'll accept that. So now I have access to this repository. Of course, it's read and write. So don't send links to people that you don't want them writing to it. If you want to send them data but you don't want them to have synchronization access, I would recommend saving this as a bundle. And this is just a single file that you can email or put on a file share or whatever. It has the full Git repository in it. So if they make changes to the file, and they can always send that file back to you, and you can open that up and you'll have access to GitHub and you can sync their changes to GitHub for them. But that kind of allows you to see their changes and review them before you synchronize it. So now we're on Windows and we're going to take that link and copy it just into a browser. You could also send it via email, whatever. And inside the browser, it'll ask you, hey, do you want to open this in CaveWhere? So we'll open it in CaveWhere, and then you need to select where you want to actually put this thing. I'm just going to put it on the C drive in local and click and clone. Oh, it wants me to log in, so I'll click on that guy, and it'll copy the data. And now I have this CaveWhere file on this Windows computer. And what's really cool is now we can do the synchronization pretty easily. And I'll also show you how to, if that URL doesn't quite work through the browser. For example, if you are like on Linux, like desktop applications don't work as well as they do on Windows and Mac OS. So if you have CaveWhere open and you go into File and say Open Shared Link, and you paste that shared link in here, it'll go into the same thing that it wants to clone it to your computer. So we'll go ahead and do that just to show you that this method also works. So we'll clone this to I need to sign in. Into my best cave. So we'll get all that data, and we will see that this is now, we have all the commit history, and we can go ahead and actually modify something in here. So say if we do something crazy, so we can tell that we've changed something, you can see we've made it come all the way out here, and we'll hit synchronize. This is on the Windows computer. And then if we come back over to our Mac OS version and hit sync, you can see that little thing has showed up on the model. So that's kind of an overview of how to set up a remote, do the little bit of syncing, share a link, and this synchronization feature is really cool for CaveWhere, especially on mobile. So I'm really excited about it. All right.